In the teaser, we established what was found. 36 tubes, 2 compounds, a protocol. Now I need you to understand something before we go any further into Michael Jackson's story, because without this, none of the rest of it makes sense. His autopsy confirmed vitiligo. The LA County coroner noted characteristic depigmented patches on his face, chest, and hands. But vitiligo, even severe vitiligo, does not create a uniform, head-to-toe alabaster complexion. Vitiligo creates a leopard pattern, white islands on a pigmented background. To get from the leopard to the alabaster, something else had to happen. And to understand what, you need to understand how skin makes color in the first place. Because every compound in that bedroom is a weapon designed to destroy a very specific step in a very specific biological process. So the factory floor. Inside the deepest layer of your epidermis lives a cell called the melanocyte. You have roughly 1 melanocyte for every 10 regular skin cells. And here is the fact that surprises almost everyone. Every human being, regardless of how dark or light their skin is, has approximately the same number of melanocytes per square centimeter of skin. The difference between the brown skin of the 20-year-old Michael Jackson and the pale skin of the 50-year-old Michael Jackson is not the number of melanocytes. It's what those cells are doing, how hard they're running, and whether anything has been done to shut them down. Think of it this way. Imagine 2 identical factories on the same street, same building, same machinery, same workforce. One runs at full capacity, 24 hours a day, producing at maximum output. The other has been progressively, deliberately, shut down. Same factories, completely different product. That's the difference between a dark Fitzpatrick type 6 complexion and total depigmentation. Same melanocytes, different output. And the shutdown can be achieved through chemistry. The manufacturing process is called melanogenesis, the creation of melanin. It begins with an amino acid called L-tyrosine, completely ordinary, found in eggs, chicken, dairy, nuts. The melanocyte takes that L-tyrosine and sends it to the gatekeeper of the entire process, an enzyme called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase converts L-tyrosine into L-dopa, then converts L-dopa into dopaquinone. This is the critical branch point, the fork in the road. If sulfur-containing compounds are present in the cell, dopaquinone takes the phenylalanine path, producing the yellow to red pigment responsible for lighter skin tones, freckles, red hair. If sulfur is not dominant, dopaquinone proceeds to eumelanin, the deep brown to black pigment that gives darker skin its color and its UV protection. Now here is the single most important sentence in this entire episode. Tyrosinase is the rate-limiting step. The gatekeeper, block tyrosinase, and you throttle the entire melanin production line. That is why almost every skin-lightening compound in the world targets this one enzyme, including every compound in that bedroom. But there's one compound that doesn't just block tyrosinase, it destroys the entire factory. We'll get to that in episode 2. Once melanin is produced, it gets packaged into capsules called melanosomes, essentially shipping containers for pigment, and transported out to the surrounding skin cells. Once inside those cells, they arrange themselves into a protective umbrella directly over each cell's nucleus, covering the DNA like a sunshade. Because that is the real purpose of melanin. Not beauty, not identity. Pure survival biology. Melanin absorbs ultraviolet radiation before it can damage the DNA inside your cells and trigger mutations that lead to cancer. This is why the story of what happened to Michael Jackson is not just a story about appearance. When we talk about systematically destroying melanin production, whether through an autoimmune disease or through chemistry, we are talking about dismantling a biological defense system. People who undergo significant depigmentation are at dramatically elevated risk of sunburn, accelerated photoaging, and skin cancer. His known avoidance of sunlight, his constant use of heavy SPF coverage, his preference for long sleeves and umbrellas, that was not eccentricity, that was medical necessity. He had removed his own UV shield, and he knew it. So now you have the map. In episode 2, we open the bedroom inventory, tube by tube, compound by compound. I'm going to show you exactly which step in this map each one attacks, and what that attack costs the person using it. And we're going to start with the one the FDA describes as permanent, irreversible, and appropriate only for the most extreme cases of pigmentary disorder. The compound found in 18 of those 36 tubes. Episode 2, the arsenal.